Привет и добро пожаловать на стрим. Где сегодня? Нас вот прям так с пылу с жару. Оба попугая прилетели приветствовать всех. И мы попробуем продолжать играть в нашу странную игру, где скандал, интриги, расследования и культисты. Следующая глава называется «Лабиринт». И, насколько я помню, мы там не совсем все правильно прошли. Ну как правильно? Проходится, как проходится, поэтому... Итак, лабиринт, где мы попробуем отыскать... не знаю, маму? Статую? Нам вроде нужно найти статую, от которой у нас меч, который мама воткнула наша в глобус в кабинете Мортимера секретном.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. All right, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
Ну, как мы...
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask them.
На поиски матери или подслушать разговор. Ну, нам нужно как бы скрыться, и сейчас они...
Well,
Pity, but I've got no time to lose.
Да. Мимо важнее. Плюс нам нужно аккуратненько так... Аккуратненько прокрасться. Где мы? Что-то это не очень аппетитно выглядит. А меду вы тут... Пчел у вас нет, да, на острове? Меда не бывает.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
У нас есть замок? Открыть правый замок. Взломать второй замок мы не можем. Ну ладно. Что мы можем? Сломать, попробовать, отойти. Ладно. А что такое все под замком? Нет места для предмета золотой эликсир. Но зато есть место для монетки. Ой! Надо было поговорить со слугой. Черт. Хотела поговорить со слугой. Какой красивый рояль. Мед!
Great, honey.
Здравствуйте.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Спросите меча.
Could you perhaps help me?
What can I do for you, sir?
Where did this sword come from?
From the garden, sir. That sword belongs to one of the statues in the garden.
Как просто.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it, sir.
Слуга такой, типа. Да, я знаю, где у какой статуи, какие мечи везде. Давайте возьмем его с собой. Он нам поможет. Осмотреть.
Golden elixir.
У нас нет места для этого. Ну ладно, хотя бы не потратили очки действия. Что тут? Мед!
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Ясь! Так. О! Здорово! Здорово, Перу. А что ты в грязных штанах стоишь? Немытых? В своих гигантских ботинках. Это ты убил, Адамс?
you again? God damn it, are you following me?
Wouldn't dream of it, sir.
What brings you here?
Мы маму ищем. Этикет. Вы умеете хранить тайны?
I tell you what I'm looking for, Monsieur Peru. Will you promise to keep it to yourself?
О, нет,
Hell no.
устойчивость.
And anybody who gives you a promise like that is an unmitigated liar. Trust no one, Monsieur de Richet, or you'll soon be a dead man. I bid you good luck. You'll need it.
О, нет. О, нет. Слабость и устойчивость. Ой, черт, я не то выпила. Знаете что? Я просто... Мы только-только начали, поэтому я переиграю главу. Это безобразие. Это безобразие. Лабиринт. Что такое, птицы? Что за внезапные вопли? А, ну да. Вот, нам нужно вот это. Наука, языкознание и эрудиция. Я взяла в прошлый раз.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. All right, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
Окей.
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask them.
Нам нужно валить. У нас нет времени на это.
Pity, but I've got no time to lose.
Ладно, проверим, не валяется ли тут чего-нибудь еще, что мы не нашли в прошлый раз. Вроде бы нет. Вроде бы нет. Так. Куда мы бежим-то? Надо было по лестнице спуститься. Черт. Сейчас целиком отбегу тут все опять. Ничего, упражнения тоже полезно. Какая приятная картина в кои-то веке. Двор, это не тот двор. А? Боже мой, нам что, нужно было только по той лестнице спуститься? Тут иначе никак не добраться. О, боже мой.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Excuse me, but could you perhaps help me?
That is what I am here for, sir. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm trying to find out where this sword came from.
From the garden, sir. That sword belongs to one of the statues in the garden.
Thank you very much.
Do not mention it, sir.
Окей, теперь нам нужно попасть в сад. Как? Я заблудилась в этом гигантском особняке. Мы можем тут как-то перейти по карте? Ах, там портрет жуткий. Мы можем выйти во двор как-нибудь через тут? Нет. Нет, не можем. Придется опять идти наверх. И теперь их отбегать нужно вокруг. Беги быстрее, чувак. Беги быстрее. Это тоже не то, правильно? Это просто та же лестница, только ведет с другой стороны вниз. Нам нужно в другую сторону куда-то. Вот сюда. Ёлки-палки. Понастроили тут себе коридоров. Привет, дракон. Тут ужасная планировка этого дома с коридорами. Только по одной лестнице, если подняться, спуститься, можно попасть в сад. Я его прошла? Нет, еще не прошла. Я тут... Не ловит? Ух ты ж, боже мой. Так.
Hey, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today. Honey,
Мёд.
the remedy of the gods.
Шкатулку мы не можем открыть, эту шкатулку мы не можем открыть. Это туда нам нужно было зайти. Эту книжку мы возьмем. Я не помню, что тут. А!
The song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near. His brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
Монетку нашли, и вроде бы тут больше ничего нет. Ах, Вашингтон стоит. В топку мы ищем маму и монетки и мед. В рестриме тут какое-то новое лого. Рестрим переделал тут вроде себе... Не знаю что. Что-то там рестрим переделывает. Как дела, дракон?
The sword probably came from this garden, but what could it have been used for?
Так, это... Я знаю, что это золотой эликсир, но мы не можем его взять. Но мы можем взять мед. Так, окей. Значит, допрос не сработал, потому что у него устойчивость. Поэтому начали заново. Давайте посмотрим, что там у него. Так, где он есть? Перю? Жик? Нам ничего про него особо не известно. Ну все, попытка не пытка.
You again? God damn it, are you following me?
Wouldn't dream of it, sir.
Окей, я обожалась меда. Давай. Отдайся мне. А вас?
To tell the truth, I was wondering the same thing about you.
It's rare for guests to wander about in the garden. I wanted to be alone for 5 minutes.
You look worried.
Worried? No. Resolved would be a more exact term.
Resolved to do what?
What's the point in answering? You wouldn't believe me anyway.
Привет,
I'll be
Тёма.
leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know. Be seeing you.
Ёлки-палки,
Tell
почти
me.
то же самое.
Aren't you even curious?
Curiosity killed a cat, Monsieur de Richet. I admit, I may have judged you wrongly. Watching you seek out Mortimer's little secrets might even be amusing if I didn't already know the consequences. See you later.
Что он вам сделал?
What happened to you, monsieur?
It's time for me to assume the consequences of my choices. I've sold my soul to the devil. Now it's time to pay.
Что происходит, Перу? Что происходит? Что ты сделал для него? Что ты сделал для... Молодец, клювасик. Клювасик. Ой, громкий какой клювасик. Вон, смотри, там зеркала. Там 2 зеркала. И новая веточка. И вообще все. Только не надо орать в микрофон. Так, окей. Реву часто, но пройдет. О, Ну... Да, как говорится, время лечит. Интернет еще фиговый. Вроде бы 4G, но он тупит. Часто в Е уходит. Хм. Ну, я могу только посоветовать сменить провайдера. Что это тут такое за устройство в саду? Так, воздушный войск. Вон, смотри, там зеркала. 2 штуки. 2 штука. И вот смотрите, нужно сидеть и смотреть в одно зеркало, да, Целот? Рядышком не получается. Так, что у нас тут? Куда это ведет? В тупичок. И тут тупичок.
Ariadne. In Greek mythology,
Ariadne.
she helped Theseus get through the labyrinth. Looks like there's a crack in the region of the heart.
Вспомнить уроки. Сложность 2. Давайте сожрем мед.
If I recall the Iliad, Ariadne is none other than the daughter of Minos and Pasiphae. She was in love with Theseus and helped him in his quest to kill the Minotaur in return for a promise of marriage if he defeated the monster. She gave him a reel of thread so that he could find his way back through the labyrinth, which was famous for being unsolvable. But once the beast was slain, the gallant was quick to abandon her on an island. Turns out heroes are not what they once were.
Оцелот какая-то другого цвета? Ближе к синему? Не, нифига. Зеленый. Они практически одинаково выглядят. Так, окей. Значит, нам нужно найти этого... Малыш. Прям в ухо звенящее. Открывайся. Ты не хочешь туда, да? Да, идем за ниткой. Сразу, как только вот это вот чуть-чуть маленький малыш перестанет нам мешать. Я не могу идти за ниткой. Нам не сидят. Левой рукой ходить неудобно. Ну ладно. Что за пес? Это волк какой-то. Вот вам не видно. А вот это вот чудо сидит и грызет монитор. Так, тут тупичок, но тут еще монетка.
A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly, that's called a cash.
Окей. Ты можешь сесть не на клювокрыло? Что тут кусты раздробленные? Кто грыз кусты? Что-нибудь в углах валяется? Бедный клювик, да. Мед! Мед! Там не пройти? Вот я бы тут протиснулась, а он не умеет. Да, тут...
Theseus, son of Aegeus. He's the one who slayed the Minotaur.
Заметить
Looks like a
щель.
crack has been made on his torso.
Изучить
As
трещину.
long as a finger. I'd say between 6 and 8 centimeters.
Вонзить меч в трещину.
Well, we'll soon see.
Что-то получилось. У них у всех трещины есть.
Son of Zeus and Europa. If I remember correctly, he was the king of Crete. Married to Pasiphae, he had many children, including the famous Ariadne, whom history remembers for her thread. Hey, there's a crack in that statue.
Черт.
The crack is in the region of the heart.
У них у всех примерно в одном и том же месте
It's a thin
трещины.
crack as long as a finger. A blade could easily enter.
Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй. Тут трещина. А! Мне кажется, надо было сюда.
It is rare to see him like this. In general, he's represented with the head of a bull, with the features of the Minotaur.
The famous son of Minos and Pasiphae.
This statue has a crack in it.
Угу.
The crack is thin and about as long as a finger. I should be able to thrust in my sword. Let's go.
Окей. Давайте заберем меч отсюда, если возможно. Дайте, пожалуйста, меч. Вспомните, кто это вытащит меч.
Let's try something else instead.
Везде, как это называется, red herring. Нас пытаются запутать.
This statue has a crack in it.
Вонзить меч.
Right. We'll soon see.
Ролик про Минотавра видел. Окей, у него 3 меча теперь воткнуто в него. Кармелитской воды. Те двери не открываются. Ни одна, ни вторая. И здрасте. В тебя тоже можно меч воткнуть?
Icarus.
Мгм.
The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. Well, let's keep going.
Стоп, заметить необычную
Icarus.
деталь? Что я там пропустила? Секунду.
The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings.
Хотела, чтобы
After
можно было
flying too close
пропускать
to the sun,
реплики.
they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity.
Деталь?
Hey, there's no crack here.
Угу.
Well, let's keep going.
Окей, я это и так заметила. Ладно. Ладно, ладно. Так, тут у нас тупичок. Тут тоже тупичок. А? Так, мы отсюда пришли. Нет? Да. Вот это кармелитская вода, которой слишком много. Что такое? Куда идти? Сюда.
Pasiphae, daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the queen of Crete.
Заметить
She
детали.
has no cracks.
То есть не у всех
All right,
трещины.
let's continue anyways. I wonder what this kiosk is doing in the middle of the garden. Too cramped to be able to do much. Well, there must be something going on there.
Так, малыши, безобразничаем опять. Прочесть надпись на
It's up to the
табличке.
just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities.
Окей, изучить плиту.
It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a passageway underneath it.
Прикиньте, если мы первый раз правильно воткнули меч. Хотя, стоп, это что такое?
What is that? Like a
Отпечаток
sort of opening mechanism.
для руки. Значит, механизм изучить.
Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped.
Да.
There's a
Вот
little
отсюда,
hole at
да.
the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs.
Так, дайте посоветуйся. Я не хочу заново опять проходить. Давайте посоветуемся с прохождением. Клювайся, что ты делаешь, малыш? Малыш? Боже мой, я целот туда же. Как дети малые. Вот ей-богу. Ну куда опять? Так. Статуя минуса. Стоп. Нам нужна статуя минуса. То есть я первый раз правильно? Отойти. Я первый раз правильно. Все воткнула. Тоже кармелитская. А, нет, золотой эликсир, но у нас все равно нет места. Это же статуя минуса, правильно? То есть не Минотавра надо было, а минуса.
Theseus.
Нет, стоп, это Тесей.
I wonder if Mother managed to solve this enigma. Asterion.
Тащить меч. Минус это был кто? Так. Это у нас что? Ключ с оккультным символом Земля. Мы можем там какую-то коробочку открыть. У нас уже нет места. Там наверняка будет лежать какой-то эликсир или что-то в этом духе. Но у нас уже нет места для этого. Есть только орущие птицы. Так. Это значит дочурка.
Here's the famous Ariana's thread, thanks to which, if I remember rightly, Theseus avoided getting lost in the labyrinth.
Что ты делаешь, малыш? Так, как нам найти нужную статую? Это же не пёсель. Это не статуя пёселя, правильно? Что там у нас внутри? Такие мы можем отсюда выйти. В сад. Это значит Ариадна. Что у нас в этой стороне? Еще один пёсель. Тратуйте, тратуйте, добро пожаловать. У вас там минус 30? У нас потеплело. Сильно так. У нас сейчас... У нас вообще минус 3, но чувствуется как минус 7. Из-за ветрищих и всякого. Вышел на улицу утепленный, вроде тепло. Тут рот открыл. Ну, так вот, не разевай роток. Так, где статуя минуса? Это наш товарищ крылатый. Карс. Икарк. У него трещин нет.
Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. Well, let's keep going.
Это... Внутрь мы не можем войти. Это наш... Малыши, ну вы совсем оборзели. Ну серьезно. Йоу. Ну что такое? Каждый день что-то новенькое. На пол садиться нельзя. На полу сидеть опасно. Так, это Астерион.
Asterion, son of Minos and Pasiphae.
Так.
Asterion, who had
Где
such
Минос?
a sad fate and who the legend portrays as the horrible Minotaur. Let's go.
Где его папа? Нам нужно в папа воткнуть меч. О, вот он. Нет? Да?
Minos.
Yes. Окей.
He and his queen, Pasiphae, were the monarchs of Crete.
The crack is in the region of the heart. It's a thin crack as long as a finger. A blade could easily enter.
Очень неудобно расположено. Я не знаю, как он там дотянулся нормально, но... Окей. Теперь следуем сюда. Что тут валяется? Нет? Казалось? Нет. Обойдем все вокруг. На всякий случай, вдруг мы что-нибудь пропустили. У меня муж. Всем тратите. Так, табуреточку подставил переносную. Наверное, да. Так, что я хотела сказать? Я увидела вот эти две свечки на подставках, и я вспомнила, как мне вчера муж такой показывает ДВМРские сооружения, и так поставил камеру, что видно только две лампы. Говорит, посмотри, какие две мерзкие лампы. Ой. Малыш, зачем? А тут уже чаинок на 4 укулеле тайма. Но они ограничены, укулеле таймы, так что вы зря их копите, чтобы потом устраивать день вечеринок. Дайте я сделаю так, чтобы мне было видно. Если вдруг кто что закажет. Рок-концерт устроить. Да, но там ограничения стоят, чтобы я не охрипла от этого рок-концерта. Так, что там опять написано, я забыла.
It's up to the just to deliver judgment, truth unlocks all possibilities.
Если изучить...
It
А,
looks
ну
like
да,
this
мы
slab
тоже
moves.
смотрели.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a passageway underneath it.
Теперь нам нужно нажать на вот эту плиточку. У меня там на мульон. Да. Ну ладно, мы все изучили. Нажать. Знаете что, можно было бы нажать палочкой, правильно? У-у-у! Это кровь нашей мамы. Прикиньте, она же потеряла руку. Может, она не разгадала загадку, именно так и потеряла руку? Она, наверное, нож воткнула не туда и потеряла руку таким образом. Это ее кровь. 100 пудов, 100 пудов, 100 пудов. Ну, не вовремя. Не вовремя. Мы на лестнице стоим, а у нас припадки.
Again?
You can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out.
Так, у меня есть также подозрение, что... Что?
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days.
Ну, у тебя два носовых платка... О, у тебя 2 носовых платка в кармане. Это нашей мамы кровь.
Let's see if you're in there, Mother.
Ну нет. Мой бот на кого-то рассердился. Так.
A fragment of amber.
Эмбер. Нам еще 2 кусочка надо, чтобы что-то отдельно с этого вышло.
Bandages. Someone's been patching themselves up.
Ух, нифига себе
It's like my
вообще.
mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes. There are patches where the blood isn't totally clotted. That's a good sign, right? She changed them recently, which proves she's still looking after herself and still believes in her chances. Oh, I'd love to tell her to keep hanging in there.
Так.
A ruble.
Рублик. О-о. О-о. Он вошел и не заметил.
Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Он защищалась, наверное. Я не знаю. А ты кто? Мы убедили Перу довериться нам? Серьезно? Он все равно свалил и ничего не рассказал. Я открыл вход в склеп с первого раза, выбрав нужную статую. Я подсмотрела, но ладно. Я мог найти в склепе важного человека. Развилки я мог найти в склепе важного человека? Я мог убедить Пьяджи поделиться важной информацией, я мог подслушать разговор Пьяджи и фон Вельнера. Ну, это развилка, значит, я что-нибудь другое не сделала бы. Окей, ну, мы нашли труп. Мы нашли кровь. И повязки. Уф. Окей, мы доделали второй эпизод. Давайте играть дальше. Но мне страшно. Мы будем играть дальше.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back
Очисти в
to
склепе
us.
стоят.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
О нет, что происходит? Почему они все в одном? И наша мама там стоит, и... И Эмили стоит. Как? Вместе со своей сестрой Эммой. Что происходит? Что происходит? Языкознание, манипулирование. Я не знаю, что нам прокачивать. Уклонение, психология. Что у нас там с навыками? Все как-то не очень. Честно говоря, неважно, что мы прочитаем, у нас уровень особо сильно не прокачается. Политика, наука. Давайте науку прокачаем. Кто там пришел за нами в своих тапочках?
Louis? Louis, the conference is about to start any minute. This is not the time to be...
Он не...
Damn it. What's going on?
I don't know exactly, Mr. President. I was looking for my mother and I came upon this body.
My God. You don't think Sarah did it, do you?
Не вмешивайтесь. Сложность уклонения. Надо было уклонение прокачать. Кто же знал. Давайте выпьем меду. И выпьем слабость и устойчивость. Давайте скажем нет просто.
I don't think so. Why would she have attacked a servant?
If no one saw you, I'd advise you not to get involved, Louis. so that no one will accuse you of the murder. Ah, darn, the conference is starting. Time is of the essence. Sort this out and join us as quickly as you can in the conference room. Everyone will be expecting you.
Mr. President, this is not really the right time, and I didn't come for that.
Your mother's seat cannot remain vacant. You must replace her while she's still missing. Your mother and I were to support Mortimer on this project. I don't know what the subject is, but the future of our countries depends on it. Given the importance of all this to Mortimer, he won't let the conference begin without you.
Мортимера
So if you don't
прокачано
want more servants
манипулирование на
coming looking for
максимум.
you, I'd advise you to join us quickly and to put a brave face on it. The best favor you can do for yourself, Louis, and for Sarah, is to come and support Mortimer's project at the conference.
Okay.
Don't worry. You can count on me, Mr. President. I shall help you with Mortimer's project as soon as I've finished up here.
Good, Louis. Sarah would be proud of you. I'll stall them while you're on your way, but make haste. I'm going. Don't be long.
Tell them that I'm on my way.
Окей. Давайте осмотрим слугу. Мы тут сидели, смотрели, но, видимо, этого мало.
Oh, he's dead.
Ну,
What the hell's
да.
going on here?
Ох, боже мой. Сложность 3. Смотреть. Ключ мы получили. Снять маску.
Let's see what secret's hidden under these masks. His face doesn't ring a bell. I'm a bit disappointed. Might have expected more from Lord Mortimer.
Черт.
Mother,
Ладно.
if this is your doing, the situation is getting worse and worse.
Кармелитская вода. Нет места у нас для кармелитской воды. Я только что ее использовала. Как у нас нет места? Органон. Что?
Leftover food. Ugh, not exactly fresh. Must have been here for a while. Someone's made a fire here. And the ashes are still warm. If you're the one who did it, Mother, it couldn't have been easy with only one hand. I must have just missed her. If only I hadn't wasted so much time getting out of Lord Mortimer's study. An old blanket. From the looks of it, it couldn't have kept her very warm.
Ну нет. Это кармелитская вода. Окей.
Well, the gate is locked.
Черт. Идите по следу матери или отправляйтесь на собрание. Ну ладно. Давайте попробуем отправиться на собрание, наверное. Я не знаю, по какому следу матери нам идти. Посетите собрание. Сидят тут всякие. По-моему, хорошая будет отговорка, что мы опоздали на собрание, потому что мы заблудились в дурацком саду. Так, мы, значит, пришли оттуда, правильно? Где это собрание, боже мой? Слуга, помогите. Это, кстати, для Гадоя висит картина.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference.
Я не
Please join
сомневаюсь.
the guests.
Куда мне идти?
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the conference. Please join the guests.
Куда мне идти? Помоги. Помоги, куда мне идти? Библиотека. Боже мой. Журнал нет, предметы нет. Как мне попасть на собрание, чувак? Чувак, help. Где все в этом огромном доме?
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Это даже не совсем отговорка. Мы заблудились в двух местах. Откройте с Мортимером.
My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave. I still have a very important letter to give to her.
Feeling all right, Louis? You look like you're miles away.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Lord Mortimer wants to talk to you, Louis. Don't make him wait.
Дайте я только посмотрю, тут какой луч есть.
Amber crystals.
Янтарь.
A chest with a motif representing the
У
alchemical
нас есть
symbol of
ключ.
water.
У нас есть ключ только от... Взламывать такие шкатулки прямо вот при хозяине дома, интересно, имеет последствия? У меня особо не прокачан этот скилл, но...
A Greek drachma. One of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran.
Окей. Так, что у нас тут?
I don't know if you ever found what you were looking for in the garden, but Mortimer is waiting for you. I suggest you get a move on.
You say it as if you were afraid of him. I sense that you have things you'd like to say, but something's holding you back. What is going on between you two?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost. The siren's song, Monsieur de Richet. You wake up one morning, not knowing where you are, and you think about everything you've done for a man who wasn't even worth it. For a man who has no respect for you, who uses you, and who drops you as soon as he no longer needs you. For me, it's too late now. But you still have a choice. Don't respond to his call, sir.
Окей. Не буду. Тут что-то интересное лежит. У нас слишком много уже этого. Давайте, кстати, это используем. Слабость, устойчивость и... Ах, это кармелитская вода, черт, я забыла, что это.
Good evening, gentlemen. Are we ready? The much-awaited conference is about to begin?
That is what we have all been waiting for.
I believe that Lord Mortimer wishes to speak to you before it begins. You should go and see him.
Да где он, этот лорд Мортимер? А, там что ли стоит где-то? С какой стороны мы вошли? Что нам дают? Кармелийская вода позволяет применить следующий навык без... Куда нам идти? Тут все закрыто. Вы офигели, где он? А, вон он. О, Господи.
Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly. But what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence.
У тебя вон два гостя помимо меня из Ордена.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well. Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the
Первый
future.
такой сидит,
But the future of
надувшийся.
who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all, then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-between. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or less always existed.
Следующий
Louis.
вопрос. Вы вампир?
Continued from generation to generation.
В чем суть? Орать так. Малыш, что происходит?
Do you often hold this kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings.
Мы были у вас в кабинете, мы знаем. Как вы на благо принимаете решения.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation in France.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing it, for example.
Ты, дракон, отвечаешь спамеру, которого ему бот забанил?
Louis, let me keep you a moment.
Это что ж такое? Мой ответ нет.
I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French.
Зачем?
But how does that concern me?
Well, you see, I prepared this project with your mother. We began thinking about a crazy idea. Unfortunately, Sarah went missing before getting the bigger picture. I don't intend to stop at Louisiana. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory.
Зачем?
And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
So why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis.
Сарчик тут
It's
по
time to start
причине,
now. I must
которая
ask
явно
you
связана
to
с
keep it to
вами.
yourself for the time being. Take a
Хозяин,
seat,
барин.
follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Интересно, как появилась Канада. Ну, точно не так. Французы и англичане решили уйти от войны Англии и Америки, решили построить свою ламповую страну. Нет, сейчас расскажу. Нет, все не так чудесно. Черт, что нам делать? Какую нам
First of all, I would
нужно
like
будет
to
решение
thank you
принимать?
for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur.
I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Так, у нас вроде есть время на это. Черт, мы могли остаться? О, нет, мы могли остаться. Мы ушли на собрание, но мы могли остаться. Стоит ли переиграть? Мне не нравится это дурацкое собрание. Клювась, что такое? Что ты на меня смотришь? Малыш, не кричи только в микрофон. Хороший малыш. Такой хороший малыш. О, нет. Ну как сохраняйся и переигрывай? Как тут сохраниться-то? Тут нет возможности сохраниться. Тут либо переигрываешь все, либо ничего. Как бы так. Мы могли встретить нашу маму. Но мы этого не сделали. Я не понимаю. Я не понимаю, как мы могли встретить нашу маму. Мы еле нашли, где собрание проводится. Военно-воздушные войска казуальных войск. Войска войск. Так. У нас политика не прокачана. Ничего не прокачано для этих дурацких собраний. Мы приехали маму найти, а не заниматься ерундой. Черт. Я не знаю, как найти матушку. Если мы сейчас будем переигрывать, я все равно не знаю, как нам найти матушку. Что, интерфейс у тебя на интерфейс VR? Ну так тут. Кстати, возвращаясь к вопросу о Канаде. Канада, так же, как и Америка, получилась из колоний. То есть были сначала колонии, которые постепенно стали отдельными провинциями, а потом все объединилось в одну страну. Не без напряженностей, и поэтому французская часть Канады, Квебек, вот это вот все такое, она до сих пор у них по большей части люди все разговаривают на французском, а потом уже на английском. Поэтому в Канаде есть два основных языка, английский и французский. В большей части Канады это все-таки английский, но французский в Квебеке к вам будут обращаться все по-французски сначала. А уже потом, если что, будут пытаться что-то на английском с вами говорить. И не все знают английский, то есть... Ну как, на 100%. Это не так, что да, они учат его в школе, и английский, и французский, но жители Квебека сначала учат французский, а потом уже могут изъясняться при помощи жестов и пальцев по-английски. То есть это нет такой огромной проблемы. Но первый язык у них французский, второй английский. Школьный уровень английского. А здесь, в Онтарио и в других... Птицы, хватит безобразничать. В других провинциях, территориях сначала идет английский как основной язык, а потом уже французский по школьной программе. Посмотрел запись прошлого стрима, видел нашего героя с той красивой дамой в комнате, да. Как же он долго держался, расспрашивая ее. Но мы же детектив. Мы же детектив. Так. Я не знаю, что мы делаем. Я не знаю, как нам переигрывать, если мы будем переигрывать. Короче.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before.
Мы знаем, как ты поддержкой занимаешься.
I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer. But I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? But I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not a question.
Savages, savages. Они не дикари.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve.
Что там сложного? Вы омерзительны. Честно говоря, да, какое-то год-то рабство и крестьяне, и крепостное право, и все такое. Что значит вы омерзительны? Этикет.
It obviously doesn't stop you from sleeping at night.
Not in the least. Do not imagine I have anything against the American Indians or the blacks. That is not the question. But business is business. It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
And it might as well be the likes of you who rule. Is that right?
But of course.
Come now, my friends. Let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people had no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see. Colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
Я не буду ничего тратить.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist
Так свечами за папа не искрят.
should persuade you
Он
not
бобов
to
переел.
attempt anything to take the territory by
Свечи
force.
реагируют.
Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am
Мне
protecting
не
you
нравится
from
вот
yourself,
в целом это
George.
собрание. Сидят какие-то обожратые сильные мира сего и решают, как распоряжаться миллионами жизней.
Am I
imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
Нет, у нас нет. Франция защитит христиан. Францию не волнует мнение папы. Лорда Мортимера много планов. Промолчу.
On the maps of Italy I saw in Mortimer's secret study, he had anticipated movements of troops across Italy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's planning an invasion of Italy by France. And if I push the notion a bit further, I can well imagine that Bonaparte's cannons, financed by the Order, will be used for that purpose. The noose is tightening around poor Piaggi's neck without him even realizing it.
I don't know if I'm the best person to speak about that, Your Eminence.
Этикет 3. Так. Раз, два, три, четыре. Позволит применить следующий навык, не потратив.
Well, I think that the French army will enter Italy, and that the Vatican will do whatever France demands of it, if the Vatican wants to retain its place.
You are joking, I hope. Lord Mortimer, I did not come here to listen to such nonsense.
What makes you think that, Monsieur de Richet?
Well, Monsieur Bonaparte, here present, has ordered a large number of cannons, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were to be used to keep Italy under control.
Come, sir, what a strange idea. I have enough on my plate with issues in Corsica.
If you say so.
You see, you're...
But Corsica is not where the cannons are to be delivered, is it?
Aye, but... Louis, you are quick-witted. I like you.
You seem to be overlooking something, Messieurs les Français. I also have backers who would be only too pleased to demonstrate the full extent of their fervor by defending the Vatican. Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovane presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
Я не хочу поддерживать Мортимера, но я тоже не хочу поддерживать Холма, он стрёмный. Но Холм, получается, его брат, о котором мы не знаем. Я просто боюсь, что тем, что я не поддержу Мортимера, я сыграю ему на руку. Но, с другой стороны, поддержав Мортимера, я не знаю.
At the risk of displeasing you, my lord, I'd rather follow Sir Gregory. I don't think this is a place for the Order.
Louis? No.
Let him go, Mr. President. Everyone is free to choose.
Я уже плохо понимаю, что происходит среди этих скандалов, кто на кого там нападает, что происходит. Да нет, он...
He'll lead our countries to their destruction.
Don't worry, we shall counter him, Sir Gregory.
We have to act immediately. Calm down, Gregory. We only have to vote against his project, and that's it.
They haven't got a chance. Just one vote will suffice.
True. There is no chance of a unanimous vote. And he knows it. He must be preparing something else. What is he plotting?
Ну. Давайте раскроем план Мортимера.
I know about his plan.
What did you just say, Louis?
His aim is for the United States to take the whole of the North American continent.
But that is impossible.
A democratic superpower. I don't understand. That has nothing to do with the coming vote.
He will ask for France to take over Louisiana and then hand it over to the United States, and so double the size of their territory.
Once that's done, he will just need to push a bit more, and you will lose North America, Duke Manuel.
God's blood! Has he gone mad?
No, Johann. He has always been mad.
Он всегда был таким.
Louis,
Он что, с ума сошел? Нет, он всегда был сумасшедшим.
If not for you, I don't know if we'd have been capable of deciphering his plans quickly enough to be able to counter him.
What are we going to do now that we know about it?
Destroy him.
No! We'll beat him at his own game, my friends. His plan begins with Louisiana, which is still yours, Duke Manuel. He will begin with you. Expect to receive an envoy, French most probably. He will try to convince you by every possible means. Whatever he says, whatever he promises, you have just one response. It's war. If war is what you want, war is what you'll get. And on your own territory, in your homes. Enough games. Spain will join the coalition against France and declare war. You too, Duchess Hillsborough. You will speak to the Queen so that Great Britain commits to going to war with France. What do you expect from the Papal States, Sir Gregory? What do you think? That they hold a mass? They will go to war, of course. What is it that you didn't understand in what I just told you? We all declare war on France. Militarily, politically, and financially. Leave me now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Let's meet early tomorrow morning for the next phase of the conference, which promises to be most exciting. Louis, I'd like to see you a moment, please.
Естественно. Ой,
Thank you for
привет.
me today.
Добро
I won't
пожаловать.
forget it. I'm going to need you. Help me counter Mortimer on his own
Ну,
ground.
хватит меня
Right here.
таскать из угла в
I'm
угол. Я не
sure
хочу,
he'll
я
try and
просто хочу
win some
найти
of you
маму.
over. He needs our votes. Now, you leave that to me. In the meantime, I must ask you to go and see President Washington and persuade him to trust me and join us.
Темные леса? Кто темные леса? Ой, боже мой. Думаете, мне это по плечу? Я просто хочу... Я приехал найти маму. Чего вы меня втягиваете в то, что у меня не прокачано? Ни политика, ни интриганство у меня не прокачано. Я уже не успеваю прокачать это хоть на какой-либо
Do
уровень.
you really think that I'll be able to convince him?
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I have total faith in you. He likes you, and thus he won't see you coming. You must be careful, though. If he senses that you are trying to manipulate him, he'll dig in his heels. Louis, use every means at your disposal. If Washington drops Mortimer, his defeat will be complete. You should go right away. There's no time to lose. William already has a head start on us.
Very well. I'll go right away.
Помнишь меня, Микс YouTube? У тебя вроде ник раньше другой был. Если я не ошибаюсь. Потом Америка позже весь мир на все подвергнется войне и краху, то что я терпеть не могу.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Ну мы это сейчас исправим.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Ай-яй-яй. Пытаюсь переубедить Джорджа Вашингтона. Как насчет мы просто найдем маму и уберемся с этого острова дурацкого? Где все? Сколько же дерева потрачено на эту комнату? Не только дерево. Камня, мрамора, ткани. Очень дорогой. Гранитов, всяких мраморов. Драгоценных и полудрагоценных металлов. Эти жуткие коридоры. Так, где там комната Вашингтона? Башенная комната, комната фон Вельнера. Адамс. Вот комната Вашингтона. Ну. Как разница, все одинаково. Тащиться туда. Сколько слонов убили, эту слоновую кость видел. Да, да. Сколько рабов использовали. Все верно. Нас от этого места тошнит. Столько бестолковых стульев расставлено. Ради просто интереса давайте зайдем в комнату Адамс. Там прибрали или она так и валяется? Смотрите-ка, они все прибрали. Ковер отмыли каким-то образом. Ну как, все прибрали. Прибрали только то, что... Ковер, как они отмыли от кровищи, этого я не понимаю. Это мне нужно у них спросить. Как у них такое получилось?
President George Washington.
Товарищи, вы тут? Или я просто так пришла? Вломилась к вам в покое. Я просто так вломилась. Окей. И где же мне теперь его искать в этом огромном здании?
Locked.
Открыть силой. Ладно. Небось, чемодан полный опиума.
Louis? What are you doing in my room?
Мне надо с вами поговорить. Я ошибся дверью. Так, там было 1, 2, 3, 4.
I wanted to have a word with you, but just between ourselves. Here, the walls have ears.
You're right. Caution is the mother of safety. Well, since you're here, can I get you something to drink?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
As you wish. Well, Louis, it's getting late, and this is not my first conference, so let's get straight to the point. You are here to motivate me to change sides.
I hope you're not angry at me. I know that you...
Louis, we are not children. You have your reasons. You will understand that your word no longer holds any value for me, but these things do happen. I only hope you know what you're doing. This is your first conference, and not following the Master of Ceremony who backed you seems somewhat perilous. But you are young, after all. So what can I do for you?
Стойчивость. Вас вытрут ноги. Мартимер вас презирает. Давайте так. Психология.
Mr. President, Lord Mortimer treats you purely and simply like the least of his pawns. He gives you no explanation and then commits you to a project from which you have nothing to gain. But you know that more than I do. Is that what siding with Mortimer is all about?
I must confess that I don't entirely understand William lately. Anyway, you haven't really said what you wanted to say. Tell me, Louis, what have you come here to sell me?
You should join home.
And why would I do that?
Снадок перед матерью. Давайте сожрем еще одну вот эту вот штуку.
This type of meeting might be familiar to you, but for me, I must admit, Mr. President, it's all a bit over my head.
It's only natural, Louis. But you are managing rather well for a first-timer. You've chosen the wrong allies, that's all.
I hope my mother doesn't hold it against me if I made a mistake. Anyway, if Lord Mortimer does succeed, it would be no mean feat. Did he tell you what he would gain from it?
What do you mean?
Well, Mortimer's plan has been meticulously prepared for many years, I imagine.
Of that you can be sure.
It's only natural, and his plan leaves nothing to chance.
No, that's what...
He never commits his own fortune, let alone his reputation, since you're the one who takes center stage here.
In fact...
Whether he wins or loses, everything is arranged so that he comes out of it intact.
Yes,
you've got to hand it to him. He's a master at putting together a plan which puts himself at no risk.
That's true. Don't worry, you can trust him.
Of course. I'll bet he's invested in a river transport company on the Mississippi or somewhere like that.
It's true, I had never thought about what he might have to gain. Tell me what Sir Gregory has to offer that I don't already have with Lord Mortimer.
В интересах американского народа. Мир.
The question is less about what you would gain, Mr. President, and more about what you would keep. After this, you could be in danger of losing everything. Your political career, for example. Don't risk it all on such a wild wager.
Louis, this type of argument is just not going to motivate me to change sides. I've spent my whole life taking action when everyone was telling me to remain conservative. My choices will not be governed by fear.
Okay. Это очень дорого. Ну, не хочу его обманывать, но он не получит ни колонию, ни Луизиану. И мир он тоже не получит. Ладно, давайте опять сожрем вот эту штуку.
You are a man of conviction, Mr. President. You would never make a choice that could cost the American people very dearly. If Mortimer falls, he will bring the United States down with him. Haven't the American people suffered enough?
I would never do anything that would put my people in danger.
Exactly. Therefore, choose your allies wisely, sir.
I must admit, your arguments do make sense, Louis. Louis, you've convinced me. I congratulate you for your performance, because I didn't think it could happen.
I merely exposed the facts to you.
Don't spoil everything with your false modesty now. You really were very good, and that's that. In any case, I shall follow you on this one. This may well arouse Lord Mortimer's wrath.
Отпиваться золотым эликсиром.
United States before anything else. Have we finished, Louis?
Absolutely, Mr. President. I shan't keep you any longer. Allow me to take my leave.
Good night, Louis. Get some rest. Tomorrow will be a very big day.
Well, that's one thing out of the way. Only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Отправляйтесь в постель. Я хочу найти маму, и все. Я просто хочу найти маму. Ты кардинал. де Ришей. Я надеюсь, у нас там никого нет в спальне. С 1000 непонятных картин.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
Вовсе нет. Мне пора спать.
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, congratulations on choosing Sir Gregory this evening. You surprised me. I wasn't expecting it.
Why, Emily? Can't you read me like an open book?
Not as well as you read me, it would seem.
I'll teach you if you'd like.
There's nothing I'd like more.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
Мы ее не нашли.
Still nothing, no.
Very well. Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Ой, как они санимировали это, конечно. Окей, да, прикройте все бошками. Там анимация никакая.
Come, Louis.
Что, у нас опять кошмары ночные?
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day.
Или
I
это и
shall
была
deal
его
with
задумка.
informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted.
Why isn't he with us? He was opposed to Mortimer.
I'll wait and see. I'm still not sure of his position. And Duchess Hillsborough. Why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her. What are we going to do about Washington? He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king. Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing. To keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. I have asked Monsieur de Richet to approach him. Let us have faith in him. I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
Yet he is Mortimer's strong arm in France.
He knows his time has come, and I believe he is intelligent enough to realize it means he is no longer any use to Mortimer. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Что? Он... О! Что тут происходит? Окей. То есть, ну, понятно, что все против всех интриги плетут. Он знал, значит, что Эмили пошла к нам. Нет, она свалила уже. Он знал, что Эмили пошла к нам. Он что-то там свое планирует. И Холмс знал, что мы через свои видения следим через Годоя. У дедушки текут слюни, потому что у него проблемы с зубами, он принимает от зубной боли опий.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
Я не знаю. Ой, сразу нас кинули в этот самый. А что это мы не выспались? Почему мы не выспались?
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I
troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me assure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Luke Manuel?
Against, of course.
Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
Well, you see, Monsieur Bonaparte, I would rather you'd have forgotten me for a minute. William, I am sorry, but I cannot follow you this
Нам с
time.
Бонапартом надо сходить к урологу.
What? I am against William. Please excuse me. I cannot commit the United States to such an enterprise. It's just too risky.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
Я согласна с первым.
Pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchesse that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, really?
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Черт. Что нам делать?
Wait.
De Richet, you just can't help it, can you? Stop trying to play the hero, man.
Я уверена, ты очень много знаешь и можешь мне рассказать. Заслуживаете большего.
Monsieur, I know I don't really know you, but you seem like a decent person.
I have done so many horrible
Я не
things.
сомневаюсь, но мне нужны
You blame
твои
yourself. I
признания.
can see that. Everything's not lost.
I don't want to do bad things anymore.
You can take control of yourself again. You can fix whatever it is you've done.
Do you really believe that?
Of course, Jacques. You'll have all the time you
Все
need.
будет хорошо. Черт.
Jacques, you're not alone.
There's nothing you can do against him.
Of course there is. We've already started.
How can you say that knowing he's already probably gotten rid of your mother, Louis?
No, he hasn't. She's still here. She's alive, Jacques.
But...
Yes, trust me.
Слабость. Ну, за 3 очка. Ну, ладно.
This is not who you are. You're better than that.
You don't know me.
Yes, I do. I know you're no coward. So give me your weapon, please.
But
There's nothing to fear. I'm right here.
I don't want him to talk to me.
Don't worry. You're safe now, Jacques.
Monsieur Peru, you could have seriously hurt someone if Monsieur de Richet here hadn't stopped you. Your behavior is unacceptable. You would do better to go and rest in your apartment. My friends, we shall continue the conference later. I would like to
Сейчас был бы отличный
apologize for
момент
the
развернуться с этим
inexcusable
пистолетом и
behavior of my
пристрелить
guests.
Мортимера.
We all need to
Мне это надоело.
recover from all of this
Мне это
excitement.
надоело.
Take the rest of the day off.
Я мог раскрыть тайну Жака Перю, я мог встать на сторону лорда Мортимера, я мог раскрыть тайну Наполеона Бонапарта. Я мог узнать больше о Грегоре Холме. Как? Но это развилки все. Это все развилки, это мы никогда не узнаем, если не будем переигрывать. Я убедил Джорджа Вашингтона, я спас Жака Перю, я провел ночь в леди Хилсбороу, теперь мне нужно к урологу, потому что она провела ночь не только со мной, по всей видимости. Я встал на сторону Грегори Холма, я принял участие в собрании. Окей. Давайте сейчас сделаем перерыв, потому что я подустала. И завтра стрима не будет. Завтра у меня онлайн игра. У нас D&D Epic. Это займет 5 часов. Поэтому, причем в такое неудачное время, как раз когда у нас полстрима пройдет. И я не хочу начинать стрим готовки, а потом бежать срочно все бросать. И успевать на вот это вот, на Epic D&D-шный. Поэтому давайте сегодня, может быть, пройдем еще одну часть вот этой игры. И я надеюсь, там будут уже не скандалы, интриги, расследования, а именно детективные расследования по поиску нашей мамы. Но после перерыва. Значит, сейчас мы завершаем главу собрания. Прокачиваем. В принципе, мы можем прокачивать наши сильные стороны дальше. Науку мы можем прокачать побольше. Эрудицию бы побольше бы сойдет. Так, мы вернемся к этому после перерыва. Окей, дракон, если у тебя с инетом беда, то ничего страшного. Нельзя спокойно смотреть и слушать. Ну, значит, потом посмотришь, если захочешь. Окей, давайте сделаем перерыв 15 минут. Я себе сделаю новую порцию чая. И потом мы разберемся, что нас ожидает дальше в этом жутком месте. Окей. Через 15 минут. добро пожаловать назад в нашу игру. Где я сейчас включу звук. Окей. Птицы решили посидеть тихонечко в клетке после перекуса. Так что... А у нас чай с печеньками. Я надеюсь, у вас тоже чай с чем-нибудь вкусненьким. Так. И также у нас... Я что-то очень как-то серьезно решила потратить ресурсы на эти все балабольства. Я сейчас заметила, что у меня их как-то мало осталось. Но у нас есть мед. У нас есть золотой эликсир, который снимает. Как бы самые важные части у нас есть. Поэтому продолжить.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us celebrate Louis's courage. He enabled us to avert a tragedy.
Yes, that was very noble of you, Louis.
You have given us all a fine lesson in courage.
Thank you.
He owes you his life. That's quite something.
That madman deserves to die.
We are providing Monsieur Peru with care, but rest assured, he is no longer a danger to himself or anyone else. I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Так, что нам взять? Я бы хотела что-нибудь из этого взять, из манускриптов, но мы нашли только одну энциклопедию. Прос, логика, манипулирование, языкознание. Хитрость, политика. Ой, у нас все это очень печально. Чтение, политика, уровень 1. Клонение. Ну, политикой и манипулированием мы точно его не догоним. Поэтому давайте прокачивать, может быть, книжки по ловкости нет? Жаль. Можно логику прокачать, можно психологию, бдительность, допрос. Давайте прокачаем логику. Опять будет вот эта птичка на фоне меня пугать. Что ты хочешь от меня, Мортимер? Я моя мама.
I wanted to thank you personally. I admire what you did to save Monsieur Peru's life. You have given us all a wonderful lesson in courage.
Don't mention it, my lord. You would have done the same. I was just quicker.
Humility is a fine quality, sir.
Where is he now?
In his room. I've sedated him. I don't want him trying to take his life again. Or, worse yet, attacking one of the guests. When in despair, Monsieur Peru is clearly a dangerous man.
Почему он вас так боялся?
Tell me, my lord. Can you think of any reason why he would be so terrified of you?
Terrified? Come now, that's a bit harsh.
Really?
I think he was simply unable to put things into perspective. I see no reason to fear me. Ask President Washington. I don't believe I'm such a difficult friend.
Having spoken to him, I can assure you that he feared you even more than death itself. Had he disappointed you in any way recently?
Of course, he was on the edge. He was desperate, and it grew noticeable in his work. Our collaboration was probably coming to an end, but I certainly didn't feel the need to threaten him ever.
But without you, no more support, no more money. It was an end to his social status. If you lost, he lost everything, didn't he?
No, not his life.
Thanks to me, I guess. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please.
Что еще?
What a pity you didn't support me during the conference.
Иди нафиг,
I
Мортимер.
hope I can count on you on the day of the vote. This major project needs men like you, Louis.
Я подумаю.
And you never know, right? Maybe by then, I'll see things differently.
Well, thank you for allowing me to believe in that possibility, Louis. From here on, I shall make it my mission to persuade you to change your vote.
Be my guest. But I hope your arguments are very, very persuasive, because I'm not the only one who isn't on your side.
Oh, rest assured, I am working on it.
Very well then. I'll see you later, my lord.
Окей. Мортимер опасный человек. Так, не упасть и не убиться, выходя из кабинета Мортимера. Так, вернитесь в свою шпальню.
Yes, sir. Your yes is not sufficient. Tell the others, for crying out loud. Remember to close my window once you've done my room. This isn't Corsica, you know. I'm free.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Sorry, Rishi. I have no time for traitors such as yourself.
I beg your pardon?
If you are here, it's because Lord Mortimer agreed to include you. And what's the first thing that you do? You betray him by following Sir Gregory and bending over backwards to turn Washington against him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was free to vote as I pleased. I didn't realize I had to vote for Lord Mortimer in order to show my gratitude toward him. Hey, he invited me here to come and look for my missing mother during his high society party. I'm sorry, truly sorry. I don't know all your customs yet.
It's just common decency that when invited to a man's castle, you don't go and to pee on his boots. Is it too much to ask?
Ты меня собакой только что назвал, слышь? Стоит на слугу, орёт без причины. Закроешь сам свое окно. Холодно ему.
Sir Jacques Perru.
Перу.
Sorry, sir, but you
Эй,
cannot go through.
тебя тут не
We have
стояло.
very clear instructions from Lord Mortimer. Monsieur Peru must rest.
Бонапарт. С ним я точно не хочу разговаривать.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
А, нам нужно возвращаться в свою комнату, а не заниматься не пойми чем. Годой. Отвратительная комната.
Next time,
В смысле,
I'll
выбор
listen to my
картин.
mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Мама? Это ты, мама?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Ой, не очень-то спешит.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly. You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
Куда идти? Тук-тук.
I do believe that's Emily's voice.
Черт. Выломать дверь.
Impossible. I can't do it. There's something blocking it on the other side.
Они не слышат меня, ломящегося? Черт. Так. А, мы не можем попасть. Черт, черт. Бонапарт с ней сосед. Безобразие, безобразие. Ай-яй-яй. Это у нас что?
My dearest son, I'm writing
Не,
to...
это мы уже читали.
I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. No way. It's too sturdy. Damn it. It's closed.
Ну что ж такое?
Seems like the key is still in the lock on the other side.
Ну все, трындец.
I won't be able to pick it. Or
Не то, что у нас получилось бы.
In the tower room.
А что мы сделали? Что мы сделали в башенной комнате? А.
I wonder if I can get the key by pushing something underneath and making it fall.
Окей. Или если бы у нас селенок хватало, мы бы...
My dearest son.
Стоп, там что-то еще лежит. Сабель.
Beautiful weapon. Lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
A map? This should do the trick.
Мы сабли не можем там ничего сделать.
It's a beautiful weapon. Lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Perfect. This card should do the trick. Slowly, Louis. Nice and slow.
Ah,
It's not a very complex lock. I'm sure I can force it if I can just find something to smash it with.
Окей, не отвернуться. Теперь мы можем втянуть карту. Вау. Так, ну у нас на... Это мы все читали. Тут не валяется каких-нибудь меда или что-нибудь еще? Нет, жаль. Так, в какую сторону? О! Нам уже показывают, что мы в комнате Хилсборо, но не совсем.
It's as if there are several people inside.
Мы не можем красться?
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. 2 coils circle the lock.
Так, мы не будем...
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was an English...
What on earth is...
Hey!
You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games.
Нет!
What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away.
Ooh.
Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is. That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Да уж да, Луи, что-то тебе не
come on,
везет.
you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival...
О боже мой. Так, окей. Они хороши, обе. Но... Во всех смыслах. Я запутался, кто где. Я тоже. Они близняшки же. И у них... они жили как бы одной жизнью. Шпионки. Так. Она меня подталкивает, мол, давай. Стала бы Эмили на меня перекладывать, типа, прятаться за моей спиной. И типа, давай, убей мою сестру. Стала бы она это делать? Потому что мне это не нравится.
You gave me something. I wasn't feeling very well, and you gave me something. What was it?
My handkerchief. And you even kept it. It was stained with your blood. Louis, I already told her. This is all a waste of time. I'm the one who told you.
Right.
Oh, no.
Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
Она уже все и рассказала, да?
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a certain way.
Черт, устойчивость.
Well played, Louis. Unfortunately, I'm not the one you should have asked that question to. Mortimer did not welcome us. It was Sir Gregory who welcomed us that night. Mortimer didn't show up until 2 days later. I know that as well.
Very well. Let's try something else. On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll.
Черт, устойчивость.
Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Of course, Louis. You broke into my room.
Она ей все
That
рассказала.
doesn't prove a thing. I was the one who told you that. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find
Все
something
розинки
better.
одинаковые.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm. I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
come on.
Так, Луи.
She's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
Вы обе были с оружием.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet. On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Ooh.
Remember? How did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
Sword toward the Gorgon, Gorgon toward the shield, shield toward the sword. Lantern toward the shield. Of course, I told her how to do it. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail.
Okay.
Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice.
Ask her about you and I.
You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it.
Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us.
О, боже мой. Не встречайтесь с близнецами. Открывайте тайную комнату, там Василиск. Там не было Василиска, но... Черт. Давайте потратим последнюю вот эту вот штуку, съедим.
Last night, when you came to my room, what exactly did you expect from me?
Устойчивость нет.
Exactly what happened. I was hoping you would share your bed with me. What?
Which I did.
And it was delicious, sir. What do you mean, it was delicious? You little slut. What did you do? Believe it or not, Louis, out of fear of her jealousy, I didn't tell Emma that we spent last night together. I hate you!
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Она была с Бонапартом! Блин, что это Что это имеется в виду? Что, мы выбираем, кого пристрелить? Или... Я хочу пристрелить Эмили позади. Эмили позади. Я хочу пристрелить Эмили позади. Как это сделать? Как это сделать? О нет, о нет, о нет, о нет. Я не знаю, что они имеют в виду. Это я застрелю Эмили напротив, или я выберу Эмили напротив? Я хочу пристрелить Эмили позади. Так, как мне это сделать? Как мне это сделать? Это важный момент. Надо выбрать, видимо, где... Я хочу выбрать Эмили напротив. Я не хочу стрелять в Эмили напротив. Что мне делать? Тут нельзя сохраниться. Тут нельзя сохраниться. Мне придется переигрывать всю главу, если я вдруг попаду в просак. Ну ладно, неважно. Блин. Как это сделать выбор? Ёлки-палки. Я не хочу переигрывать всю главу, потому что это тупой геймплей.
It's you, Emily.
No, Louis! She is manipulating you!
No, Emma. It's her. I know it. Despite all the trouble you've gone to put one over on me, I know it is her.
That's enough now, Emma. You little slut! Don't think you are going to get away with this so easily. You are going to stop your little game right now. Never! I am Duchess Hills. No!
Emily?
I am the Duchess.
But...
You don't! Dear God, what have I done? See what you've done. See?
Louis?
Mother!
What on earth is...
Go away! You must go. Everyone is going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess?
Uh-oh.
Is everything all right?
Come on, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
О нет, мама, с тобой все в порядке. Ты без руки. Ты без сознания была только что.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her. Please. Go.
А где
I'll
кровь?
cover you.
Где кровище? И дыра в башке.
Stop!
God damn it. Now what's going on?
С матерью. А маман-то у нас не промах. Или что происходит тут? Это как его, этот самый? Как... Блин, где мои записи? Это не та запись. Потому что... Я, помните, так-то сказала, что, типа, как так? Она, типа, за одну ночь и к нам пришла, и к Бонапарту. Она была занята... Эмили была с Бонапартом, пытаясь его перетащить на сторону Холма. Холм ее послал или что-то в этом духе, и Холм знал об этом. И мы, когда получили видение... Холм об этом говорил. И теперь Эмма, получается, пришла, чтобы сделать сестре больно. Что-то в этом духе. Что это такое? Что тут происходит? Где мы?
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Как бы... Почему мы не можем... Это наша мама его оглушила или что происходит? Почему мы не можем его привести в чувство? Это же этот самый... Как его? Вельнер? Как его звать? Да, это Вельнер. Тут валяется. Окей, тут у Бонапарта проходной двор случился. Я не понимаю, зачем тут сохранение, если... Конечно. Пойдем в другую сторону. Нам нужно в склеп. Вот сюда. Я так понимаю, в сад, правильно? Назад. Как же мы медленно бегаем. Как же мы медленно бегаем. Ой, нет, это кабинет Мортимера. Кстати говоря... Вельнер. А мы не можем туда попасть. Почему тут никогда... Вот это же комната Перу, правильно? Почему никогда невозможно в нее попасть? Так. Тут ничего у нас не валяется хорошего, интересного. Что-нибудь полезное, типа меду. Так, вот в саду мы, кстати говоря, что там пропустили в прошлый раз. Но не в этой части, да? Окей, окей, окей. Так. Вот в этой части.
Golden elixir.
Хоть что-то заберем. Ну-ка, а тут внутри. Золотой эликсир. Окей, мы сейчас выпьем золотой эликсир, чтобы снять наши отрицательные эффекты. Возьмем еще один. И нас мама ждет. Так понимаю, вот внутри этого секретного гаибо. Это мы заберем с собой. Мы что-то нашли, коллекционную монету, но не проход. Тут тупичок. Окей. В темноте пытаемся найти вход. Окей. Окей, 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 окей. Мама!
Louis!
Mama!
At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we
мы
have
так
to be
себя
quick.
ведем?
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here.
No, Louis.
I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true.
Не переживай,
Many
мама,
years
у меня
ago,
цель.
I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Мортимер демон! Мама, я тебе верю.
Listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus?
Hey.
What do your demons look like? Have they got
Кракен
horns and a
настоящий.
pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess.
Мортимер и Холм. Домовой Дед Мороз.
Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those two.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
У нас есть доказательства, они из одной семьи, у них подозрительная...
You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Да, мы заметили. Имущественные акты, генеалогическое
дерево. I came across his family tree in his study.
An only son.
Since the Third Crusade.
The fall of St. John of Acre, Louis. The fall of St. John of Acre.
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? Yes, I did. Why?
Too bad. We'll deal with it later.
О, боже мой. Окей. Я надеюсь, это действительно правда. Ну, как в игре с этими... демонами. Потому что я устала от интриг, скандалов, расследований, которые ни к чему не приведут, потому что обычно люди не могут прийти к общему мнению и миру мир и все такое. Поэтому давайте просто убьем демонов.
I went beyond the nightmare, Mother.
You understood the Masonic
Нет, мы
date.
спросили у Пьяджи.
Of course,
Не смогли
it was
выбраться, правда,
during
потому что
that
тупняк
siege
настал.
that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Holm are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or
Да.
personnel.
И все типа прислуга, все не их. Они с собой никого не привезли.
Louis, I am proud of you. You
Oh,
came
Mama.
all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked,
Ай-яй-яй.
composed of 7 parts. Each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion.
Ну, у
So I
нас с этим
got the
вообще
idea
с
to
языками
form a
проблема.
small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him. Or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
О-о. О-о. Я надеюсь, мы не сын. Мы не чадо. Так, кого она нашла? Холмы, что ли?
Sir Gregory?
No, Mortimer, of course.
Okay. Mortimer.
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
Сколько лет ему
He was
было?
already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body.
Oh.
But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted.
Please don't be stupid.
Okay.
You don't make deals with the
Извини,
devil.
мама.
After
Извини,
that,
мама.
I spent my whole life
Мы
looking for
действительно
him.
тупим.
3 years later in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
Что? Что произошло в Венеции?
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth?
No.
What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here.
Okay.
Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
Что случилось с Эммой?
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
All right,
У нас нет
but you're not getting
манипулирования.
away with it so lightly. Once we get back to Paris, be sure I won't be letting it go.
We'll see in Paris then.
Зачем поставлять пушки
What
Бонапарта?
was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Мы же говорим о войне.
Since when does the order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Okay. С фон
What did you
Венером.
negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
Okay.
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
Я должен знать.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her.
Oh, no.
The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Кто убил
Do
ее?
you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
Я верю. Я же хотел передать вам
On the
письмо.
evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries.
Окей.
We can sort that out later.
Я согласна. Где вы потеряли руку?
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that, I shall show you.
Uh-oh.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
Упс, сорян. Окей. Ладно,
Good.
пройти.
I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He demands that the Spanish hand over Louisiana to France.
Oh, knowing him, it won't stop there. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Звук грязи под ботиночками, nice.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
Изгнать демонов мы сюда пришли. Вершить правосудие.
There. That's why we are here.
Эй. Нам не хватает. Вот как она потеряла руку. Упс. Упс. Мама не смогла решить загадку. Окей. Я мог узнать о решении Наполеона Бонапарта. Да он с нами разговаривать не захотел. Я мог поговорить с Пьяджи о его мотивах. Я мог узнать что-то новое об Аль-Азифе. Я мог пройти через комнату Жака Перу. Мы могли попасть через комнату Жака Перу, чтобы попасть на балкон? Но нас туда не пустили. Но неважно, это развилки. Я смог обыскать комнату Наполеона Бонапарта, не оставляя следов. Я защитил одну из сестер Хиллсбороу. И правильную притом. Окей, и мы 10 уровня. Прекрасно, прекрасно. Так, для решения загадки. Я не знаю, что нам понадобится, но... Надеюсь, не языкознание, но мы можем прочитать языкознание, попробовать. Теперь уже возняк метаться, но логику. Будем применять логику. В принципе, я надеюсь, нам мама поможет.
Reassure me.
Окей. Мы закончим, давайте, на этом. Это, получается, мы прошли части... Упс. Назад, я не то зажала. Это, получается, была часть... Следующая часть у нас будет испытание веры. И потом уже будет следующий эпизод, следующая глава, 4. Окей, мне на самом деле, я думала, мне меньше понравится что-то оккультизм и всякое такое, потому что я люблю применять вот эти вот всякие для загадок решения логику. Но, честно говоря, с этими политическими всякими темами манипулированием и прочим. Я не понимаю, как там что делать. Поэтому мы это оставим, вот это испытание веры, загадку на следующий раз, потому что уже так поздненько. Уже почти 3 часа стримим. В следующий раз, значит, завтра стрима не будет, потому что у меня дела. А стрим следующий будет, мы продолжим играть, скорее всего, в The Council, если что-нибудь другое внезапно не решу делать. А мы будем играть в среду. Будем убивать демонов, я надеюсь, в человеческом обличье. Всем большое спасибо за просмотр. Увидимся в среду. И птицы передают тоже пока-пока.